Hello to all my brothers and sisters. Om Shanti. Good morning. This is the Murli of 23rd July 2023. The Sunday Murli is always a Avyakt Murli, which is a revised Murli of the previous date. The date is 16/3/1995. The heading of Murli is The Sign of Soul who are full of all attainment is that they are content and they are happy. Today, Bap Dada, the one who enables you to attain all attainment, is seeing his children everywhere who are full of all attainments. You are the children of full and perfect Father. We are the children of a perfect Father, the bestower of all attainments. And so Baba has given each child the inheritance of all attainments. It is not that he has given someone 10% and giving someone else 20%. Those who are coming early, the Baba is giving 80% to those. No, this is not like that. Baba is giving us everybody the same inheritance. He has given all the children the right to all attainments. All the children have right to the full inheritance. So Bap Dada is seeing to what extent every child who has the right to all attainments have claimed that right. The Father has given everything to us. The Father is called the Almighty Authority, the one with all powers and full ocean. He is the power of power and power of ocean. Okay, the ocean of powers. Okay, however, to what extent have you children made all of those attainments your own? Would we attain that of full happiness in our life? Would we able to get inheritance from a God? When you make the inheritance given by the Father belong to you, you have the intoxication and happiness that they are your treasures to the extent that you make them your own. They are given by Father, but you have made them your own by imbibing them. So, what did Bap Dada see? What did Bap Dada see in us? That you become number wise in making them your own, because it depends on our hard work to remember the God. The work is only to remember the God, the remembrance of the God. The Father has not created the numbers, but instilling them in yourself according to your own capacity has made you number wise. So we should do the hard work of getting more and more knowledge of the God, and we should remember the God every time, breath to breath. What are the signs of souls who have all rights and are full of all attainments? What are the signs of that souls who stay in the intoxication and experience of all attainments from Amrit Vela until night time, means from 4 a.m. to the night 9 a.m. or 10 p.m. The sign of having attainments is contentment. Such souls are constantly jewels of contentment and spread the sparkle and vibration of contentment to others. Their faces will be constantly happy. They are having happy faces, smiling faces, smiles on his face every time. Happiness in the mind and body. To be happy means to be free from all types of questions which would arise in our mind. What happened to me? Why this has happened only to me? What Baba did with me? They will not have any question. They will be happy always. Why, what, how? All these questions have finished. So, have you become happy to this extent, or do you still sometimes have some questions? Baba asks to you, do you have still sometimes some questions are there in your mind? What is this? Why is this like that? How will this happen? When will it happen? Do these questions arise, whether in your own mind or through others? Are you an embodiment of questions or an embodiment of happiness? Or are you sometimes an embodiment of questions and sometimes an embodiment of contentment? But are you? We have to check. Generally, it is remembered that nothing is lacking in the treasure store of Brahmans. Whose praise is this? Which Brahman does this praise belong to? Does it belong to you or of those who are yet to come? You are these. So, when there is a lack of attainment, this lack of attainment is a reason for the discontentment. Look at your own experience. Whenever your mind is discontented, what is the reason for that? It is because you feel a lack of something or other that you feel discontented. When there is a feeling of lack in our mind, then we are discontented. There is the praise that nothing is lacking. Baba is giving everything to us. So what is lacking? Is this the praise of the present time or of the time of destruction? Will you become complete at the time of destruction, or are you going to become complete now? Those of you who think that you remain constantly satisfied, that no matter whether in relation to you or to the others, you do not have any questions, that you are always contented. How many such contented souls would there be? There are many. Okay. Acha, those who think that you are always contented no matter how much Maya makes you fluctuate, you will not fluctuate but will make Maya fluctuate. That Maya may salute you. That you are an Angad, the person who put on their feet at a time and don't fluctuate even once when Maya comes. That Maya may be defeated and you are victorious. Those who are like this, raise your hands. Always remember the word constantly. The word constantly. You are not those who are like this only sometimes. Constantly we are at the stage of contentment and be happy always. There are very few of you. There are only a few out of multi-millions. Baba say multi-millions. However, there are question marks. Are there not? The question mark should be removed from your dictionary. Let there not be any fluctuation. When you use a computer, this comes up, does it not? Whenever you use the computer of your intellect, it should always be to put a full stop. Let the symbol for a question mark and an exclamation mark finish for all the time. Delete it from your mind computer, the mark of question mark and exclamation mark. Okay, and only full stop is there. This is known as being constantly happy. Those who are happy in this way will finish the question mark of others. Those who are happy, they give peace and silence to others. Otherwise, if there are questions mark in yourself, then whenever you hear something or see something, you would say, this should not happen, but it does happen. I too think that this should not happen. In this way, you mix in others. This makes you underline their questions. When you hear somebody's questions and their distressed feeling, you also put a yes to them. So you also put a questions mark onto their questions. You give them your support and then you say this is not right, but it does happen. So you did not make the other person happy, but you actually increased their questions. You added to them. It was a question of only one person and it then became questions of two. Then from two, it becomes questions of four people. So the vibrations of having questions spread much more quickly than the vibrations of being happy. You say, yes, it is like this. So you give others your support in this way. You use an exclamation mark. Therefore, this is not a full stop. When it is for yourself, I should not be doing this, I should receive this, others should not have this. This wanting fills you with questions and doesn't allow you to remain happy. So what is your aim? What is everyone's aim? To be contented and be happy. So we should have to put full stop mark onto the other questions too. The speed of waste in the mind and intellect of those who are contented will not be fast. They will be constantly gentle and humble. Because of being humble, they will give everyone the coolness of shade of happiness and contentment. No matter how much they are burning like a fire or how hot someone's temper may be, they will become cool under the vibrations of happiness. What is the weakness that comes up? Generally, you move along very well on your own. You move along very well. But when you get into the relationship and connection with the others, then by seeing, hearing, or speaking of the weakness of others, you come under their influence. So we don't have to hear other weakness or speaking about the other weakness. Okay? You then say, this one did this and that was why I also did it. This one said this, so I also said this. That one said this 50 times, but I only said it once. Then you put very sweet words in front of Father. You say, Baba, at least you should understand a little, na? To what extent I am going to have to tolerate all of that? We are still effort makers, so we will feel a little, will we not? You begin to explain to the Father in this way. You tell many stories to those who are instruments here. It was like this, it was like that. You turn the rosary off. It was like this. Baap Dada constantly giving the means you are making excuses in front of Baap Dada too. That you become in an influence of others. But Baba said that you don't become in the influence of others. You should give peace and silence to the others. Put their questions onto a full stop. But we are indulging in them. Bhav Dada constantly giving the signal that you have to speak of such things briefly in just a few words and not giving long explanations. Wasteful things are very spicy. They are just entertaining, just as in food too. You like sweets and sour food very much. However, if it is bland, if it is simple, you say, we eat this all the time anyway. So while moving along, your interest in listening, speaking and doing wasteful things and wasteful thought increases. And you then think, I don't want to, but they wanted to tell me. So I said, okay, let me explain to them so that their hearts become empty of it. That one's heart become empty, but you filled your heart with wasteful things. By repeatedly filling your heart a little, you create a sanskar, means a habit of it. Then when you have this sanskar or a habit, you don't even realize that is wrong. When you have a habit of anything, then you don't think that this is a wrong thing. This wasteful habit finishes the judgment power of your intellect. Therefore, the easiest way to remain constantly content is constantly to keep one's self-attainment or others in front of you, because you never forget any attainment. You may forget points of knowledge, but you cannot forget your attainments. What have received from your Father? What you have received till now from the Father? How much have you received from the Father? You like variety, do you not? You don't like the same things all the time. So look at your attainments in our life. How much we attain from Baba? How much attainments of the treasures of this knowledge do you have? How many powers have you attained by doing yoga? How many attainments of the divine virtues do you have? How many attainments for practically maintaining that intoxications and happiness do you have? It is a long list, is it not? You were also told earlier that you have to remain content by keeping the attainment of any one virtue in front of you. This is because when you adopt even one virtue, it is just like how the vices have a very deep relationship with one another. Externally, when you have anger, then along with anger, if you check internally, there would also be a greed and arrogance within yourself. They are all one another's companions. Some have emerged and some are merged. So, too, the virtues have a connection with one another. You might keep one virtue in an emerged form, but other virtues would also be merged within that one. So, every day definitely experience being an embodiment of one attainment or another. When you have the attainment in an emerged form, the lack of attainment will finish and you will remain constantly contented. In fact, in the world as well, what is the main attainment that everyone wants? In fact, in the world as well, what is the main attainment that everyone wants? The number one is everyone desire to attain a good name for himself. Second, regard from others. Third, honor. They want to attain a name, regard, and honor. What do you wish for? You also want this, do you not? Not for anything limited, but of the unlimited. People of the world chase a limited name. However, look at your own name. Does anyone else in the world have such an elevated name as yours? So, means like Brahma Kumaris. Nobody has that name. So, look at your own name. The main speciality of your name is who is chanting your name? The God Himself is chanting your name. So, what could be a greater name than this? Even now, in your last birth, many souls are creating their livelihood with your name. Baba asked for Brahmins. The Brahmins who are the priest at the temple, they can get the livelihood by worshipping the god and doing the daily rituals for the god, and they earn from the peoples who are worshipped. So are you not? So even with the name Brahmins, those who are Brahmins in the name are also earning so much even today. Even now, those who are only Brahmins in name are considered to be so elevated. There is so much praise of your name. Your name has become so elevated, and this is why you must not chase after any limited name. No one ever mentions my name for anything. My name is always last and yours is up. I am the one who does all the service and the names of others are mentioned. So don't chase after a limited name. Your name is constantly elevated in Baba's heart. Since your name is in Father's heart, what does it matter if your name is not mentioned in any service or any program or anything on the stage? It is in the Father's heart. On the path of devotion, they show an image of Hanuman. Who did he have in his heart? He had Rama in his heart. However, what is in the Hanuman is a follower of Rama and he has Rama picture in his heart. What is in the father's heart? The children. So, are you the children or not? All of you are included in Baba's heart. Have you seen this? Are you sure? What if it is sometime missed out? The name of all of you are mentioned. So why do you chase after others' name? Because for the majority it is name, regard or honor that makes you fall, and it is also the same thing that increases your intoxication. So, look at it in terms of attainment. If, for instance, your name is incognito for some reason, sometimes for any service, if there is not mentions on the stage about your services, but you think that your name should be glorified, it is right. that your name should be glorified, but because of some karmic account or some habits or sanskaras of another souls, your name is not glorified. You may be right and other person wrong, and yet the other person name is still glorified, whereas yours is not. Then your name is fixed in the rosary of victory. Okay, in the rosary of victory by the God. Therefore, do not be concerned about that. Maya comes in this form a lot more. Therefore, now even if your name is missed out by mistake, it doesn't matter, because your name cannot be missed from the rosary of victory. First will be your name. So remember the praise of your name, that your name is in the Father's heart, and in the rosary of victory, that your name is doing service till the end. Priests or peoples are worshipping the gods or a deity on the temple, in the temple. This is the service of yours. How much regard do you receive? Even God has kept you ahead of himself. Children's first. So the Father himself have given you so much regard. You have received so much regard, and the proof of that is that even your non-living images like deities in a temple are praised so much even in this last birth. Knowingly or unknowingly, people look at the images of the deities with so much regard. Even now, they have the most elevated regard for your images. This is your proof. Since your images are so worthy of regard and worthy of worship, the one you give regard, it is also considered to be worthy of worship. They always say this one is worthy to be worshipped by us, one who is worthy of worship. So, your practical proof is that people have so much regard for your images, and it is because of this regard for your living forms that they give to your images. If your living forms did not receive reward, how could the images received it? The Father always says children first. Children are doubly worshipped, whereas Father is worshipped in only a single way. Therefore, your regard is greater than the regard of Father. So, you have received such elevated regard. Whenever any limited aspect of reward arises, then think, what would regard from souls do when I receive regard from supreme souls? Do not think, I do so much and still no one gives me regard or asks me about anything. It is wasteful to think in that way. Anything limited that you chase after is like a shadow. Whenever you try to catch hold of a shadow, are you able to catch it, or does it run further away? Limited name and regards are like shadows. They are visible under a sun of Maya, but they are in fact nothing. So, you have received name, you have received regard, and look how much honor is given to you. Remember how much honor you have received, and who had made you sit so honorably? The God, the Father. You are seated on the heart throne of the Father. The greatest honor of all is the ruling status. So, you have received a throne and a crown, have you not? You are seated on the heart throne of Supreme Soul. And so, what could be a great honor? Sometimes you make a small mistake when making a decision. Real honor, spiritual honor would never allow you to feel insulted. It would not give you any kind of feeling of insult. But what do you sometimes do? Actually, it is arrogance. But you think that you have to maintain your honor, that you have to maintain that much honor at least. It is good to maintain your honor, but check very well whether it is your honor or your arrogance, because it is little difference between honor or arrogance. Sometimes you consider your arrogance to be your honor, but you are not then able to be humble. The sign of arrogance is that you might consider your honor to be real, whereas others consider it to be arrogance. And so, whenever someone says something, you would feel insulted. When we feel insulted, it means it is our arrogance. Those who have arrogance will very quickly feel an insult. Even when someone says something jokingly, they will feel insulted. This is a sign of arrogance. They would think, no, I am not like that. They should not say that. So make an accurate decision. At that time, you create a weakness in making the right decision. Instead of it being accurate, it becomes mixed, and yet you consider it to be accurate. Generally, it is said, this one is very good. This one is very good, but his way of speaking, sitting, walking, etc. seems very arrogant. Even when someone says this, there is a feeling of being insulted. So, also check the difference between self-respect and arrogance. Therefore, constantly keep this immersed. How great your self-respect and honor are. Constantly keep this unlimited name, regard and honor immersed. Do not let it become merged, but keep it immersed. There is sometimes carelessness about having remembrance. I belong to the Father anyway, so I don't need to remember Him. However, when the thought is immersed, you are able to experience attainment. In the same way, remain alert in every aspect of dharana. So, not be careless because time is coming close, and what notice is the time giving you? What notice is the time giving you? Be fast, be quick, okay, and doing the hard work of remembrance to become equal and become perfect. Therefore, look at the challenge of time and become full with all attainments. Acha, to the souls in all four directions who are the constant embodiment of all attainments, to the elevated soul who constantly remain content and satisfied, to the close souls who constantly experience themselves to have a right to the elevated name, regard and honor, to the satisfied soul who give everyone the light and might of the vibrations of contentment. Bab Dada's love, remembrance and namaste. And from our side, good morning to our Bab Dada. And Bab Dada, thank you Baba, thank you so much. Blessing of the goddess today is, may you be an embodiment of remembrance and power and experience yourself to be a full at every second and constantly safe. Constantly keep yourself full with the treasures you have received from Bab Dada at the confluence age, because you are full. Nothing else can enter you. You cannot say that you do not have any power of tolerance or a power of silence, that you have a little anger or forcefulness. An enemy is forceful when you are careless or you haven't applied a double lock. Apply the double lock of remembrance and service, become an embodiment of remembrance, and you will be powerful and stay constantly safe. The slogan of the day is, in order to construct the new world, make your stage humble and constructive. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.